Welcome back to the channel, guys. First of all, thank you so much for 50,000 subscribers. So cool to see the amount of support we've gotten in the last couple of years. And this video is actually part of that giveaway. So shout out to Aaron for winning the form review. And with that being said, let's jump right into it. All right, here we go. So let's first of all just kind of see your form, see what it looks like. High speed, compare it to mine real quick. And then one from the back as well. All right, so first of all, the first thing that I notice is this really big run up, right? So a lot of speed, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're doing like a distance contest and you want just as much power as possible. I myself like to get as kind of a biggest run up as possible, but for most traditional, like most golf shots, you know, on a course, you want accuracy, consistency. I would definitely recommend not having quite as big of a run up. I think that's going to help with a few other issues that I see as well. Overall, the form, you know, isn't terrible. I've definitely seen a lot worse. The timing is actually really good. If you look right here, the peak reach back is actually lined up pretty well with that kind of plant foot planting. So that's definitely a good building block. And then the left arm does come through at the right time. So timing is pretty decent. There are a few things I noticed. Let's get right into those. So next to my form, we'll see, not to say my form is perfect, but I think it is pretty solid. And also with this video, I'm just gonna kind of be going off of what I think correct form is. Obviously I could be wrong, but I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of it. I've studied a lot of people's forms and applied it to my own, obviously. So yeah, the first thing that I notice is just the massive run up. So it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to get timing right and consistency and everything with that much speed going into the throw. So the first thing I would recommend is just slowing that down. And as you can see, kind of on my side here, I have just basically a 3-step little walk up. It's very slow, controlled, just enough to, you know, momentum to get the X step down and then go into the plant and actually go into the throw. So I'd recommend slowing that down. That's also gonna help with, you know, the X step size. So I see your X step is kind of, it's on the longer side as well. And I think that's partly because of the high speed run up. So if you slow the run up down, I think that X step will shrink a little bit. That's gonna help kind of keep the hips and shoulders and everything else kind of in line and not rotate back too much or too soon. So, you know, kind of shrink that X step just a little bit to keep it a little bit more tight. And then another thing with that footwork, you do a good job of keeping that plant foot in line. A lot of people open that plant foot up towards the target. I like to see the weight also is kind of perpendicular, so definitely keep that. The plant's not too bad. I think you could probably straighten that leg just a little bit more and kind of, you know, push back off that ground into your hip a little bit more. I think that would probably help, you know, kind of release more of the power into the actual disc as opposed to kind of following through forward. As you can see, I kind of release the disc and just kind of pop up and stay kind of balanced on that plant leg. Whereas you kind of fall forward because all that momentum is going, you know, forward through your body as opposed to getting all of it in the disc. So that'll help get a little bit more distance as well. Another thing that I notice with the throw is right here. So as you can see on my reach back, I get a nice straight, you know, full reach back with that arm. Arm is perfectly straight. As you can see on your side, kind of bent. So you could get a little bit more power as well. As, you know, if you get that full reach back and full extension, that's going to allow the disc to have more time to kind of speed up throughout the throw. So that's something I'd recommend as well, is just making sure you get that full reach back and full extension. And then that way, as you're pulling through, it's gonna build a lot more speed as it gets into the power pocket and then releases. You do get a nice power pocket here. So as you can see, you got the 90 degrees is all good. You know, just like on my side, you can see right there. I make a nice box with my shoulders, and if we go back a frame, it's the same thing. It's the same thing on your side. So you get that shoulder, elbow, everything all lined up. Some people don't necessarily think the 90-degree thing is right, but from what I've seen with other players and myself included, I think that's probably the best way, the most consistent way, and most powerful way as well. So I like to see that. Another thing that I do notice though, that that we could probably improve on is this left arm. You do a good job of getting it nice and tight, so you get it away from your body as the disc goes away, which is good. And then as the disc starts to pull, that left arm swings in, which is good. But I think to get a little bit more efficiency, you want that hand to actually kind of push back as the disc gets into that power pocket and kind of make that like second push back motion. As you can see on my side, my hand comes in and then it pushes back away from my body. And I think what that does is it kind of helps with the shoulder blades kind of squeezing together throughout the throw. So right here you can see the left arm comes in, right here, my shoulders are kind of pulled into each other, and my chest is maybe contracted a little bit. My back is really wide, and then as I go throughout the throw, right there, you can see my shoulders kind of pull back, right? So it's like as I'm going through and pull back. At peak reach back, my shoulders are almost kind of rounded, and then as I go throughout the throw, my shoulder blades will pull together to kind of get some extra power into that arm and into the disc. So I think that's something that could potentially help as well. As you can see, my shoulder blades are pretty tight right there, whereas that left arm on your side is just not quite as tight back as it could be. I think that could help as well as far as getting that extra power and kind of just getting that left arm to swing kind of behind you after the release, after the power pocket, I guess. But yeah, not too bad. Another small thing I do notice, the disc from the reach back, peak reach back, the disc kind of swoops up a little bit and then swoops down a little bit. It's not too bad, but it is gonna kind of promote an up, like a nose up throw. And obviously, if we can get that disc just on one perfectly straight line. Mine makes a slight movement too, but it's pretty straight. So yeah, definitely would recommend trying to get that straightened out. So maybe try to keep the disc on this level right here, and then I think straightening your arm out on that reach back is going to help with that as well. Because as obviously with the arm being a little bit bent, it kind of just goes up automatically, and then when it goes up, it has to come down and then go up again. So yeah, definitely would recommend trying to get that pull straightened out. And I think one thing that will help with that as well is actually keeping that spine like perfectly aligned. Honestly, pretty good job with the spine, not a whole lot of like side to side rocking movement. But as you can see, like, let's see, right here, when you get to peak reach back and that plant foot starts to touch the ground, your body does shift a little bit forward, which is going to take away a little bit of speed from like rotational speed. So instead of just spinning through the shot right here, you make a slight rocking motion. So nothing too drastic, but when that does rock forward, that brings the disc up a little bit and also causes a little bit of a swoop. So I think that's one more thing that can potentially help, is just kind of trying to keep the spine perfectly in line, and as you rotate back, just keep everything kind of just on one plane. Obviously, as you can see, my torso goes slightly forward as well, but it's kind of after the hit point. So instead of like at the peak reach back, it's actually at it's like right there to where it starts to kind of go forward, and then obviously with follow through. That's probably kind of the last thing that I notice from this side profile. Not too far off. Obviously, just a few small tweaks here and there, and I think a lot more distance potential is possible. So that's a good thing. Good news. We want to always be able to improve, and if we can find flaws in our technique that we think can unlock some more potential, that's always exciting. So I think there's a few things there, not too far off, but just small tweaks, should be golden. Let's look at the back view again. Yeah. All right. So honestly, yeah, from this view, I don't see a whole lot different. You don't really round too much with the disc. That's a common problem that I see. I think once you get that elbow straightened out on that reach back, it's going to be an even straighter reach back, because you can see the disc is kind of off that left shoulder instead of in line with that right shoulder. So I think once that arm gets straightened, that'll kind of straighten out that reach back as well. You do a great job with the footwork being offset. It's something Simon talks about a lot. You can see the left foot is definitely further. it's kind of behind your body compared to your right foot, and that opens the hips up, allows you to get some more rotational speed as well. The one thing I noticed from this angle specifically is that the way that left arm kind of holds your body back from rotating. So I think that's where I talked about getting that left arm to come in and then kind of push back out. I think that's going to really help. It's pretty obvious from this angle that it's kind of just it's stopping your body from rotating all the way through. So I think once you get that left arm to kind of get in and then push back a little bit, I think that's going to help with a lot more speed as well. But yeah, I mean, with that pretty straight reach back, you have a pretty straight pull through. The disc comes out fairly in line with your run up, which is obviously a good thing. It's kind of one way you can aim, is just aiming your feet on the path you want the disc to go, and then if you can run along that and throw along that exact same line, that can definitely build consistency. So yeah, I think all in all, pretty good. You have a nice, full follow through. The left arm, comes up there. The left foot follows through. Obviously, if you can stay balanced, that's going to be a little bit more efficient. But with this much of a run up, I think it's going to be difficult. So few key things I would say: just slow the run up down. Just make it like a 3-step. Try to walk with that left arm, getting it pushed back at the end there, and then try to straighten that reach back out. I think those would be probably the 3 false things I'd look into, and then also maybe getting that plant foot a little bit straighter on the rocking motion. But honestly, definitely got some potential. Maybe don't walk on all 5 of these things at once. Just kind of pick one and try to dissect it and figure it out. So yeah, that should do it for this video, guys. Aaron, hopefully this helps. Hopefully you can get some more distance potential unlocked and get some more speed and power, consistency, accuracy, all the good things that come along with better technique. For everyone at home watching, hopefully this helped and you can kind of learn how to dissect your own form. Definitely recommend filming yourself and comparing to pros if you can. I know that's what I did back when I was building my form, so I know it helps a lot. And yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hope you learned something. Hope you can get some more distance. And we will see you guys in the next video. If you want to like and subscribe, that'd be great. Road to 100,000. Hopefully we can get there at some point. But 50K is awesome. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next video.